What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and tomorrow is officially going to be our next downtime update. We're going to be getting some new cosmetics added to the game, some new things here and there, such as the Kai Cenat collaboration and more. So in today's YouTube video, we're going to be recapping all the information you need to know, at least in terms of things going on with LEGO, since we got an official blog post earlier today from LEGO detailing some of the changes they're going to be making. Now, of course, some of the other things coming with this update is, of course, going to be like Kai Cenat, but in terms of actual gameplay changes, it doesn't really seem like too much, because stuff like the Megazord actual like on island event and all that type of stuff isn't set to happen until the 16th, which is still going to basically be at the end of the week to like a week away. We do have leaks and stuff we'll probably get during the update for it, but nothing right away, you know, that could tell us all the information, I would assume. Anyways, with that said, let's start off today's video by talking about a brand new starter pack that will become available September 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, called the Pixel Starter Pack. This was a recent skin that got added to the files named Pixel, and the interesting thing about this skin was that it didn't have shop assets at all. Some people were worried that Epic Games was going to scrap it, make it like a mobile skin or something like that, but no, it is going to actually be releasing, and it will be in a starter pack. Now, by purchasing that pack, you'll actually get Pixel plus the Rainbow Rec Room Decor Bundle. Now, the Decor Bundle includes a binge screen TV, a Bit Blaster machine, a classic gaming poster, a polychrome gaming display, polychrome collectible display, polychrome side table, coffee table, armchair, sofa, bed, rug, and party lights that you'll be able to use to decorate your home in LEGO Fortnite Brick Life, or of course in Fortnite Odyssey as well. But yeah, if you're someone who was curious when this skin was going to be releasing, what was going on with it, it appears that it is going to be releasing very, very soon, but instead of being something that's sold in the item shop, it's actually going to be a whole entire LEGO Real Money bundle. Now, the typical LEGO Real Money bundles, as far as I'm aware, and I can double check this real quickly for you guys, is around like $4 United States, so it's not really that expensive. The one that is currently available in the item shop is quite literally $4.99, so you know, $5. I don't believe you get any V-Bucks for purchasing these bundles. You just get the skin and then a set of cosmetics to use in LEGO modes, but it is still nice to see that they're actually going to go ahead and still release a skin that some people definitely were wanting. I know when the update came out, I saw a lot of people actually commentating about how they really wanted the skin, and was disappointed to hear that it didn't have shop assets or anything when it was first added to the files. Other than that, though, we do have some changes across the LEGO modes, starting off with LEGO Fortnite Brick Life, which has the following changes. You'll now be able to purchase rustic flower beds and towering topiaries for your home, and you can buy them from the in-game catalog. On top of that, you'll be able to actually change the color of all non-candle lights on the tables and floors in your home as well, so you know, a little bit more customization here and there. You'll be able to make your own mood lighting in your houses and stuff using, you know, non-candle lights, such as, you know, I guess like a normal light switch or whatever else they got going on in LEGO. When doing a task from the taskboard, a map marker will now help you out, telling you a little bit better on where to actually go for each part of the task, instead of just being like, oh, collect gold bars or something, and then you have to go figure out how you actually get the gold bars, and then it's like, oh, you have to actually like go down a little like trash chute or something to go into a little safe room or whatever else. Another thing they're mentioning when it comes to map markers is your home will now have a map marker as well to help you know where your home's actually at when you're navigating the map. Sack of creds will now have a cred value, so that whenever you deposit them at an ATM, if you're a long-term saver, or whenever you withdraw them shortly, you know, basically you can like have it stack up. You can have a sack of creds that has 100 creds or 1,000 creds, or I guess 10,000, a million, however much you actually get. So different values to the actual creds that you can actually see, instead of it just being, you know, just a normal cred sack and nothing else. And of course, you can deposit that into the ATM if you really want to get those creds, and maybe you could transfer it to your friends or something. You know, if you have a friend getting into the game but you played a lot in Brick Life, you could go ahead and give them a starting amount of money or something. They mentioned this as well in the actual changes here, and also sorry for how weird this might sound. I'm like trying to focus on getting to the areas I need to be in game right here while talking about this. But giving makes the world go round. You'll now be able to withdraw credits from your account at an ATM and hand them to other players. So basically what I literally just said, come to find out, that is one of the real features they're doing here. And then they mentioned that the soccer field will show which player in your current Brick Bay instance has scored the most goals in this session, which is a pretty cool change to actually see. You know, it gives a little bit more love to minigames that you can actually play in LEGO Fortnite Brick Life by having a leaderboard of everyone who has played in that same session as you, whether they're currently still in it or if they left at some point. As long as that session was active when they were actually in it, you know, they should have their score showing up there, and other people can compete to try beating that score and, you know, scoring more goals than everyone else in the lobby for bragging rights, or, you know, just a little fun extra thing to do on the side. And then in terms of other changes, we also have ourselves some LEGO Fortnite Odyssey changes. Now, we don't have anything mentioned about expeditions at all. I have noticed that they have been tinkering with some of the like time values for expeditions. It appears like they're going to keep expeditions going on a little bit longer. But the first thing we have to talk about expeditions is Mask Maker Daigo hits the road. Now, they mentioned that you may encounter Mask Maker Daigo while exploring your LEGO Odyssey world, and when that happens, you have to prepare to defend yourself. They mentioned that using Mask Maker's corruption against him, you'll be able to refine corrupted crystals just like all the other gems. If you craft self-defense tools using cut corrupted crystals, the Spire Wraith 4 rune will be applied. With this rune, it will make targets with, it will mask Little Mask, oh, okay, now, I'm sorry, I am apparently terrible at reading. It says, Little Mask will target your foes when you dodge the foe's attack. So when this rune's applied, the little mask that Daigo is known for, you know, all the different masks he has and everything else, will actually end up flying around and targeting the foe that you dodged an attack of. And to help you get started, Vengeance Jones has a new journal entry that you're able to actually start doing after you complete Vengeance Jones' previous journal entries as well. Which is a pretty interesting thing to see them doing, you know, definitely nice to see a lot more of Daigo's, like, whole entire LEGO Expedition stuff coming over to Odyssey and stuff around that part, but then we have some pretty interesting and really big changes for LEGO Odyssey that was talked about in here. One of the main ones, and I'm going to read it word for word as I scroll up here real quickly, is player and enemy health and damage is being revamped in preparation for future Odyssey updates. So the first thing here is that they're deliberately telling us and teasing, hey, we got more updates coming down the line for Odyssey, but for right now, we have to change your health and damage system. So if you liked the heart system in LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, that is gone. It will now be a health bar. For example, if you currently have 10 hearts, you'll now have a total of 400 HP. That doesn't mean you got a lot stronger overnight, however, because it's just a change in the numbers, and an attack that normally does 5 damage might do closer to 50 damage, which doesn't mean that it's a more powerful attack overnight or anything else. It's just them changing the numbers around here and there. But they do mention that not all health and damage values are increasing exactly by the same amount, so that the previous scale that they had was meant to be rounded in ways that warped the balance a little bit here and there, but now you might see enemies doing, for example, 34 damage instead of maybe 5 damage or 4 damage or something like that. They'll be doing odd amounts of damage to better make the balancing in its own way, where they can make it so however they want an enemy to hit, they can make the enemy hit that much without having to go ahead and change it around here and there in order to match the whole entire, like, heart system they have in place. So if you like the heart system, sadly that's going away and you get health bars instead. But it is interesting to see that they're making that big of a change to LEGO Fortnite Odyssey this long after Odyssey came out. Other than that, they mentioned some new changes that are going to be happening as well, which are definitely some quality of life stuff. In multiplayer, players will have their own unique color for icons in the world map, pings, and with their compass item. So not everyone's going to be the exact same color on the map or anything else, you know, a little bit more diversity to figure out what is what's person or whatever else, you know, make it a little bit more understandable. They're also making it so there will be a new hide uncraftable items option in the build menu filter to hide what you're missing resources for. So if you only want to see items that you can craft what you currently have, you'll now be able to do that without having to sort through things that you're also not able to craft as well. They also mentioned that they're going to be adjusting resource counts of a few stations and other items, and they say to check them out. Now, they don't actually go into more detail about the resources and all that type of stuff here, but some of the things that they do mention is that they're readjusting chest sizes to increase your storage across the board. A small chest will go from 10 storage item slots to 20, a medium chest from 16 to 25, a large chest from 20 to 30, a grand chest from 24 to 35, and a gem chest from 28 to 42. So there's going to be a massive increase in how much you're able to actually store in the different type of chest. If you're someone who's early on, you basically doubled your storage in a single chest, which is super nice to see, because I feel like early on, especially when you only have those smaller chests, it is in a situation where you have a lot of loot. You end up grabbing tons of stuff, but it all just gets scattered around like 3 to 4 different chests, and then the one time you're actually trying to find an item, you go through and you're like, is it in this one? Nope. Is it in this one? Nope. Over and over and over again. And then the final change they mentioned is that building with resources in village chests will work more consistently. So a decent amount of changes for Brick Life and Odyssey. However, they're kind of being radio silent in terms of expeditions right now. No clue what's really going on with expeditions. You know, maybe they have something cool being cooked up there. I mean, they have been kind of changing things around. Apparently, there's going to be a new story with the new season or whatever else in audit or expeditions and stuff. And they're still trying to bring the superhero abilities and everything else further into Odyssey to kind of synchronize those two LEGO modes together. Until next time, however, this is pretty much all we have to talk about until the downtime update comes out. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I will catch y'all with the actual downtime update later tonight or tomorrow morning, where we showcase all of the brand new cosmetics added in the game's files that aren't encrypted. Keep in mind, encrypted things, we can tell you, hey, there's encrypted files, but we couldn't really show it to you anytime early. The other thing I could probably think of mentioning here, as a little bit of an added bonus if you're watching this far in the video, is the fact that we're getting a Converse Kicks collaboration with this update. I do believe it releases in the first item shop after the update, so September 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong there, but it is something that's going to be coming out within the next few days, and that will be one of the things that probably gets decrypted tomorrow that we'll be able to showcase to you guys. So until then, like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow with another upload. So until then, peace out. All my emotes are copyrighted. This one works. Peace out.